So, bad habits are something that I believe everyone has in one way or another. Some are mental, some are more physical, but we all have them to some degree, right? Some are worse than others, but they're called bad habits for a reason. Obviously, they're not good. They're going to do you wrong. They're going to hurt you in the long and the short term. So, what happens when you cut them out? So, me personally, I would say I've never had too many bad habits, but I do have one, and that is with caffeine. I'm very dependent on caffeine. For a really, really long time, I've been drinking 2 caffeinated drinks a day, and I mean like 2 energy drinks. It's how I start my day, it's how I keep going in the afternoon. And, I knew it was bad, but about a month ago, I decided to try to cut back on it. Because obviously, too much caffeine, it can cause heart problems in the future. I've heard that it can cause, some mental problems too. Not to be over dramatic, but I think it can kind of, slow you down in the long run and, make it harder for you to think, I've heard. So, obviously, that's not something I want to happen to me. So, normally, what I would do is I would have my 1 drink before the gym, and I would get a second one, and I would have it at around 2 or 3 o'clock every day. And then that would keep me going throughout the evening, the nighttime, until I have to go to bed. And I didn't need it. I didn't need that second drink. I would take it and, I would game. That's all I would do. There was no point in having it, but I was just so used to having 2. And I felt like I needed to have 2 in a day to keep going. But around a month ago, I said, you know what? I'm going to keep my 1 in the morning for the gym. That's acceptable, right? I think that's okay by everyone. Just 1 drink. I'm not talking about like a Red Bull. It's more of a pre-workout drink that I take. But that's totally normal, right? It's like someone having a coffee. Your 1 drink in the morning to get you up, to get you going. I'm like, you know what? I'll still have that. But I'm going to cut out that second drink. I'm going to try to see how long I can go. Or not how long I can go, but how I'll feel if I only have the 1 drink in the morning and leave it at that for the caffeine for my whole day. And for the first week or 2, it was tough. I might sound like I'm overreacting because we're not talking about some crazy substance here. We're talking about caffeine. But man, I could definitely tell a difference when it got to be 3, 4, 5 o'clock, getting into the evening. I could tell wow, I'm out of it. I am just not as focused and energetic as I normally am. And something like that, it's not the end of the world, right? Life went on. I mean, it didn't cause me the most stress ever, but it was annoying for me. It was really annoying. I wanted to have that other drink. The drinks are really sweet too. They taste like candy. I drink the Ghost energy drinks. They're really good. So I missed that aspect of it too. But I got through it, and I'll tell you what, I don't feel that effect now. I don't feel like I'm missing something when I don't have that second drink. I keep it to my 1 in the morning, and that's it. And I'm fine. And I would say I feel better. In a mental way, I feel better because I know I'm not having that second drink, and I know I'm doing something good for my health and for my wallet. The drinks are $3 a piece, so, I mean, you multiply that by 30, I've saved $90 already. That's awesome too. And look at that. Taking control of a stupid little habit as minuscule as an energy drink. I've saved myself money. I've saved potential health hazards. And I just feel better. I feel better knowing that I cut it down and I'm not consuming too much caffeine. Like I said, very simple concept, but I'm proud of myself for doing it. Now, obviously, in terms of quote-unquote bad habits, I would say mine was on the lighter side. There are people that do far worse things that cause way more harm and are way harder to get out of. We all know about that. People do some crazy stuff that, it's hard for them to quit. And I really can't speak on that. But as for smaller habits, I know a big one for people is biting their nails, which I never really got, but I guess it's something that you just kind of start doing and then you can't stop. I don't think there's too much of a health risk to that. Maybe putting your hands in your mouth might get you sick. But I guess that would maybe build your immune system. But I'm sure, you don't want to be doing that throughout the day and biting your nails and you might hurt yourself or something. I don't really know what the downsides of that are. I just know it's a semi-common habit people have. And there's things like cigarettes, or maybe it's a diet thing. Maybe you drink too much soda. I mean, that's a problem that I had, and I mean a problem. I would drink soda every day. I cut that out years ago, but yeah, that was a big one for me. I'm still to this day very thankful that I got rid of that habit. And I know a lot of people drink soda. It's a very common thing, right? It's soda. It's just another drink. My advice to you, though, if you drink soda, I would stop immediately, because what soda does is when you drink it, in your body, it creates these little packets of bacteria. And I don't really know the specifics of it, but I think it makes you more prone to illness. And just think about that. It builds bacteria in your body that wouldn't normally be there. That just sounds horrible. That was a big one for me. But when I quit the soda, I felt so much better, because after I would drink it, I'd feel kind of sluggish, and I just wouldn't want to do anything. I'd just want to sit there. And what got me through that was I kind of had the mindset of, okay, with this meal, I can drink water or I can drink soda. At the end of it, if I drink the soda, what do I gain? When 5 minutes passes and the drink is gone, won't I feel better if I drank the water instead of the soda? And I worked at a place for years with a soda fountain, so I had all the soda I wanted every day. I could get it whenever I want. But when I went to the soda fountain, when I decided I had to stop drinking it, I would force myself to put water. I would consciously be walking there with my cup. I'd be thinking, I have to put water in. I have to put water. I can't put soda. And it worked. I did have one soda on Thanksgiving, and then I had a little bit of soda with some vodka, maybe a couple weeks ago, and that's it for me. And I mean, when we're talking about that little, I mean, for the past year, that's pretty much all I've had. It's not a problem for me anymore. But if that's a habit of yours, even if it's not a habit, even if it's one soda a week, my advice still is do away with it and just do water. But anyway, when you do break a habit, not only do you benefit from the harm that habit was doing to you, but you feel good. It's almost motivational. You're like, wow, I did that. I was doing something that I had a hard time stopping, and I stopped it. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel better about yourself. And, I know it's hard to quit something you've been doing for a while or something that you really love, but if something's bad for you, you got to realize that. And you got to snap out of it. And both of my examples, of course, were more on the health side. So I can't really speak on maybe some things that affect relationships or, financial thing. I did make a video about gambling not long ago. I know that can be a terrible, terrible habit. I can't speak on things that affect relationships or finances or, health, extreme health. But I mean, that's kind of my ideology on all this, and I think if you are currently, struggling with a habit, it would be a good idea to adopt that mindset and think of the bigger picture. Think of what will make future me happier. And yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on bad habits. I was thinking about how far I've come. What am I talking about? I don't want to say how far I've come, but how happy I am that for this past month, I cut the caffeine in half. I was thinking about that, and it made me want to talk about this. Hopefully, somebody got something from this video. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.